Jets. Just about set to go now in the snowy Meadowlands. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. Taken from about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A 1st carry now for Nick Chubb. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the 1st snap.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Bears.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get this down close to a 1st at about the Jets' 24. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, You go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now Hall to start the drive. They find some open field here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Jets at 11-5 on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And some room to roam now. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Pollard is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check the team.
They'll look to run with Hall. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. And the Jets' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs. And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound. And I don't care how we're playing the game. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Jared Wilson, 63 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead. Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So holding will scratch off some of that return. And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, You have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Escaping the pressure right. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Touchdown, Jets! Lawrence Cager, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Hands it off out of the gun. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cooper will come in motion right. On first down, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he brings this one back. It's up. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off to about the 48-yard line. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Fields. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Fields now to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. A give to Hall running right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Off play action. Kirkland. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a give here to Pollard. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
15. Stop your whining. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Switch. Hey, watch it.
They'll run left with Pollard. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And all the way in. His 17th rushing touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point pretty close to that right upright, but he does get it to go. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
I got you, boy. Mike 38, Mike 38.
Fields going to get this one out on the perimeter. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
I can't believe they even let you play. 24.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Fields. Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
To the air again, Fields.
And he comes back with one complete.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
A short kick taken at the 18.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2nd down and 8.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Flush to his right. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fields going to
and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On that punt, we've got a man shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Watch the screen. Watch 15. Watch 15.
Off the play fake. Kirkland, he'll buy some time right. And that will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Fields.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Logan. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And just a yard to go here on second down.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Check 53. Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense.
Down at the 25.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4 but got 3. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And one last throw here for Fields. And that will be incomplete. As time